everybody, welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we are back in Utah. We're about, I would say about 50 miles southwest of Salt Lake City, Utah, in the 5-mile recreation area. There's a 5-mile peak trail or something, I think it's called. But in this area there are also other trails with snake names. So today we're going to explore Sidewinder, Rattlesnake, and Constrictor. Sounds pretty intimidating, right? So I'm not sure what's on these trails. Never been on them before, but it looks like they have some fun challenges. Probably some challenges that are over my head, over this vehicle's head, but we'll take a stab at them anyways, of course. So hopefully we make it out in one piece. So today's exploration has 3 parts. There's Sidewinder and Rattlesnake, which are like 2 trails, 2 legs of the Constrictor trail. So we're going to go up Sidewinder, and then we're going to go up Rattlesnake, and then we're going to finish with Constrictor, where the giant obstacles are. So let's see what's on Sidewinder and Rattlesnake, and we'll go from there. The first bit of the trail is just dirt and small rocks, but it's extremely uneven, washed out, and narrow in a couple spots. The washout has created some pretty steep-sided V-knot shapes to the road. There was a little smoke in the air the day I did this trail, so it looks like everything has a little bit of an orange hue to it. Starting here, the rocks began to get larger, and a very steep ascent to the top lies ahead. I didn't see any snakes on these trails named after snakes, but there were tons of these little lizards. I've lived in the desert for a long time. Finding rattlesnakes seems to be a pretty rare occurrence. This is the first major obstacle. Getting up these rocks wouldn't be so difficult if you didn't care about major body damage from the driver's side tree. I know I already have body damage, but believe it or not, I try to avoid getting more. And I don't have any more extra mirrors, so I didn't want to break one off. There's also a wall of rocks to my driver's rear, threatening to take out my tail light, the one I just replaced. My front locker is on now, and in this case was much more effective than A-Track. Up and over, no problem. Here's another big one. There was a way around this, but it looked like where people were widening the trail, making their own bypasses. I'm a pretty firm believer in staying on the trail, so I toughed this one out. have to say this trail has been a little bit more intense than I anticipated. Yeah, it's pretty rough. So this is super steep here, and obviously up through the middle here is going to be the most difficult, and then over on the sides it's a little bit smoother than that, but it's incredibly steep. So yeah, here we go. This hill is at around 25 to 30 degrees of incline. Loose rocks and fine sand on the rocks makes this a bit of a challenge. Still on the same climb, this part felt pretty dicey. It seemed like the vehicle wanted to slide sideways toward the passenger side. Being on such a steep grade, I really didn't want to get turned so that I wasn't still nose forward up the hill. Not sure you can see it here, there's a second ledge in front of my front tires. That's what's giving me all the trouble. Well, time for a winch. The angle and the rock situation, let's just winch out, right? You know, sometimes when you're trying to get yourself out of a little bit of a situation, it's possible to forget to hit record. Anyways, the winching went great. As you can see, I made it up the rocks. So check out this view and how steep this is. This is totally awesome. You can see my truck and camper down there if you look really hard. Maybe I can see with my eyes, but yeah, we're having a good time, right? After that long rocky climb, I finally reached the top, and the views were spectacular. So something pretty cool, I just ran into the new Ford Raptor owners class. There were about 16 Ford Raptors, and they were driving up one of the roads here to go learn how to drive their new Ford Raptors. So that was pretty cool. So I just drove up the mountain on Sidewinder, and then Sidewinder connects to actually the trail I'm going to be on now, and to an easy road that I took back down to the bottom of the mountain. So now I'm going to take Rattlesnake up the mountain, and then continue on to Constrictor. So Sidewinder, Rattlesnake, and the easy road that I took down, they all intersect, and then it just keeps going up to the Constrictor section. So Sidewinder was pretty intense, pretty awesome. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's see what Rattlesnake has. Rattlesnake was a shorter trail on flat ground, much more user-friendly than Sidewinder, with lots of options on the obstacles. This little section is the warm-up for the rocks to come. We got a few options here. We got that, which is a no. And then right through the middle here is the easiest line. And then we got some rough stuff over here. So I think I'll take this rougher line just for fun. So here we are already back at the intersection of Sidewinder and Rattlesnake. So it was a lot quicker on Rattlesnake to get to this point. And we're not nearly as high. We didn't go up nearly as much. And then right over here is the turnoff to go up to a really easy exit back down the mountain. But we're not ready to exit the mountain yet. So they used to do a ton of mining up here, and they put this giant grate over a mine shaft. I guess they didn't want people going down there. But that's pretty cool. I guess he used to mine silver and gold for the most part here. That's what the sign said in the parking lot. So these are huge tailings piles from when they were mining here. Now people drive all over them on motorcycles, ATVs, and FJ Cruisers. Here's another big mine shaft with a grate over it. This one goes straight down. I'm glad they put a big grate over that because I'm scared of heights and giant holes in the ground. Well, that does it for Rattlesnake. It was pretty simple and straightforward. Nothing too challenging, to be honest. Now, there were a lot of optional lines that, you know, could be totally crazy. And there's all these tailings piles here. There's a big playground back there through the tailings. That could be sort of fun, I guess. Yeah, so on to Constrictor. So my wife Elizabeth and I are always having this ongoing conversation about, you know, me out here by myself off-roading and the balance and the fine line between taking risks and being stupid. So, one of the main attractions in this area in terms of obstacles, it's called Wayne's World. And, well, here it is. You got a big climb, and then a bigger climb, and then another big climb at the top. I'd love to give it a try, but I don't think I'm going to, because I think it would be stupid. Not that I probably would try it if I wasn't the only one out here, but if I get up in the middle there, I won't even be able to open my door to get out to go run a winch line. So I don't want to get in the middle of that and then not be able to get out, set up a winch line. And I don't want to really back down this either. So unfortunately, it would be stupid for me to try this. So sorry guys. Maybe next time. Okay, so you're going to see in a few minutes that the constrictor section of this trail system is geared toward really big and built vehicles. I'm always happy to find trails that exceed my limits. It gives me something to look forward to as the build of this FJ continues. I ran into a guy in a tube frame buggy later in the day. He said a lot of, quote, full bodied vehicles see this obstacle and turn around. So I'm happy I did it. All right, this is an obstacle. I think this is called Eagle's Nest. Um, uh, I like big obstacles. I like driving over rocks, but I just I don't think that's in the cards for me. Uh, I'm a little disappointed, but again, I don't want to put myself in a busy wild type situation again. So, um, I believe there's a bypass for this. I'm going to drive up a hill. It looks like a bypass for this mess, but yeah, I I don't think the FJ is ready for that level of rock crawling just yet. So yeah. Okay, so the hill up to the left is not a bypass for Eagle's Nest. It just is a hill that goes to nowhere. So if you're not ready for Eagle's Nest, then this is the end of the line for the Constrictor Trail. So now I just got to go back down that big rock obstacle I just came up. I think it's called the Tickler, because it tickles the bottom of your vehicle, I guess. Anyways, so back down we go. Thanks for coming along today. I hope you enjoyed watching me drive my mildly built FJ Cruiser over some pretty large obstacles. Couldn't do the hugest obstacles, but maybe someday we'll get there because, the build never ends. So Thanks again for watching, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you can come along on a new adventure with me every Monday and Thursday. Always fun stuff going on. We'll see you next time.